Congratulations! If you've made it here, then that means you are working hard, and I promise it will pay off on your test. Some of you noticed during the Unit 3 test, the Unit 4 test, that by doing the videos and checking your answers that you are doing a great job and your hard work did pay off on those tests. So if you are just learning that now, that's okay. Let's move forward. Rewrite the expression with positive exponents only. So that means that anything that has a negative exponent is in the wrong location. If it is in the numerator, you bring it to the bottom. If it's in the denominator, you bring it to the top. So the first thing I want to get rid of here is this 3 and just leave it as 1 and 3. The numbers, numerically, I want to deal with those things. Now I have x to the negative 1 and x to the negative 5. Those two are essentially switching places. The x to the negative 5 will come to the top to become positive, and the x to the negative 1 will go to the bottom and become positive. Then I have y to the 4th, which is positive already, so I'm just going to leave him alone. And then this y to the negative 1 should come to the top and become positive y. So really, let's see, 1/3, that'll stay the way it is. X to the 5th over x becomes x to the 4th. And y to the 4th times y, you add the exponents, y to the 5th. Final answer, it's over. Number 2 is a really excellent question. Express in simplest form. So here's what you need to do. First, you need to know that in order to divide fractions, you actually multiply by the reciprocal. So we want to flip the second fraction always. So after the division, you want to flip that. So here we go. Let's flip that. So we want to factor everything as we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 4x plus 8. I'm going to GCF of 4 times x plus 2 over x plus 1 times 2 minus x over GCF of 3 in that denominator, x minus 5. Okay, times, I'm flipping this. So the 2x squared minus 8x minus 10 is in the numerator, and the x squared minus 4 is in the denominator. I know off the top of my head how to factor x squared minus 4. That's x plus 2 times x minus 2. I'm okay with that. But what I'm not sure about is my factoring skills with this quadratic. So I'm noticing right away that I can take out a 2 and get x squared minus 4x minus 5. Okay. That GCF, you cannot divide it out. It is factored out. Stop writing divide by 2. Just stop it. You factor it out. You unmultiply it. Those are opposite things. So leave the 2 out here, and then you need to factor. What two numbers multiply to be negative 5 and sum to be negative 4? That would be negative 5 and positive 1. So now I can cancel. Anything that I have a match in the top and bottom cancels. So I always like to go left to right. I have a 4 on the top. Do I have any constants on the bottom? Yeah, I've got a 3. But that doesn't reduce. Keep going. No other constants. So the 4 is going to stay. So he's going to be in my answer. 4 on the top. Okay. Is there an x plus 2 anywhere in the bottom? So looking. Oh, found one. Cross it out. Okay. Is there an x plus 1 anywhere in the top? So let's see. Yep. Oh, there's an x plus 1. Okay. Got it. All right. 2 minus x. Look, let's see. Well, there's an x minus 2. Those two things cancel to be a negative 1. I like to write it on the top and circle it so I don't forget about it. Okay, so then I have, let's see, on the bottom, I have a 3. I can't do anything with that, so I'm just going to write him here. Then I have x minus 5. Oh, x minus 5, x minus 5. Those two cancel. And then I have this 2. So, all right, so on the top, I've got the 4 times negative 1 times 2. And in the denominator, I only have a 3. So let's see, that's negative 8 over 3. This is an excellent candidate for checking your answer. Pick a number for x. Now, this question has a lot of numbers in it. It's got 2s, 4s, 8s, 10s, a 3, a 5. So 11, 7, 17, all of those numbers have nothing to do with this question. I'm going to store 17 for, I'm going to use b this time. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to type in the original expression. So 4b plus 8 over b plus 1 times, control divide, 2 minus b over 3b minus 15 divided by, like I said, the original, b squared minus 4 over 2b squared minus 8b minus 10, press enter. I got negative 8/3, so I know I did a good job. Now, something I should have mentioned from before, up here in question number 1, I can actually check my work with that one too. I can store values for x and y, or in my case, I'll use a and b. I'm going to pick, I don't know, let's say 11. I'm going to store it for a, and 13 I'm going to store for b. And I'm going to type my original expression as a to the negative 1 and b to the 4th, and 3 times a to the negative 5 times b to the negative 1. So a represents x, y represents b, and I get this crazy number. Okay, that's the original. But then look at my answer. So let's see if my answer is equivalent. A to the 4th, b to the 5th, over 3. Yeah, those are equivalent. So I know I did a good job. I know I got it right. Okay, so there's always a really good way to check your answer by using that store feature. I never recommend that you use x and y just in case you do something in your spreadsheet. I always use a different letter, but that part's up to you. As long as you clear it out afterwards, you'll be fine. Okay, let's go. Oh, I got lost. Sorry. All these things, yikes. Okay, so number 3. If you have me as a teacher, watch this part. If not, if you have Kraus, fast forward through what I'm going to do now, okay? So, my people, you want to do plus negative 12, okay? We know that the least common denominator here is x times x plus 2. So, the 4x needs to be multiplied by x. The negative 12 over x needs to be multiplied by x plus 2. And the 1 needs both, right? It needs a common denominator on that side. Okay? So it needs everything. So on the left, we'll have x times x plus 2, which is 4x squared minus 12x minus 24 is equal to x times x plus 2 over x times x plus 2. Once you have the denominators equal, you can set the tops equal. So go to the next line. Remember, don't cross out denominators. 4x squared minus 12x minus 24 is equal to x squared plus 2x. Get it set equal to 0. 3x squared minus 14x minus 24 is equal to 0. We need to find two numbers that multiply to be negative 72 and sum to be negative 14. That would be negative 18 and positive 4. And then we can split down the center. Take out a 3x, you get x minus 6. Take out a 4, you get x minus 6. So your factors are x minus 6 and 3x plus 4. So x equals 6, 3x equals negative 4, x equals negative 4 thirds. Are both of those okay? Let's look at the original. The original numbers were x plus 2 on the bottom and x on the bottom, which means x cannot be equal to 0 or negative 2. I didn't get either of those, so 6 and negative 4 thirds are both okay. All right, my people, move on. All right, Krause's kids, you have this as your original equation. So you know that the least common denominator is x times x plus 2. And I'm guessing he told you to make that plus a negative. I'm guessing. So he may tell you to use elimination. So you're going to multiply both sides of the equation by x, x plus 2, x, x plus 2. In the first one, when you distribute, the x plus 2's will cancel, so you have 4x times x, which is 4x squared. When you distribute to the negative 12 over x, the x's will cancel, and you'll have negative 12 times x plus 2 equals x times x plus 2. Now you just have to distribute 4x squared minus 12x minus 24 is equal to x squared plus 2x. Get it set equal to 0. Oops, 3x squared minus 14x minus 24 is equal to 0. So Krause uses the guess and check method. Oh, minus 14. Sorry, my one didn't show up. So he says that you need to figure out, first of all, you know at the beginning you're going to have a 3 and a 1. There are only two numbers that multiply to be 3. They're 3 and 1. Now, what combination? You know one of them has to be a plus and one of them has to be a minus in order to get negative 24. So is it a combination of 12 and 2? Is it a combination of 6 and 4? Is it a combination of 8 and 3? So you have to make this decision on your own. We kind of go through, okay, is it 12 and 2? That would be 6 and 12 doesn't make 14. Okay, let's try, whoops, that was supposed to be an eraser. Let's try the other way. The other way would be, what did I just do there? 36 and 2, that doesn't make 14, okay. 6 and 4, 6 and 4. So we'd have 12 and 6. Nope, how about 4 and 6? So that's 18 and 4. Oh, found it. 4 and 6. That's 18, positive 4. So negative, positive. So you have x equals 6 here, and 3x equals negative 4. So x equals negative 4 thirds. Go check these. Back to the original. The numbers that this can't be are negative 2 and 0. Neither of those are answers that I found, so I can put both of them in my solution set. Okay. Number 4. Again, Krause and Newman are going to do this differently. So we both know, or we both would have you get a least common denominator of x times x minus 2. Okay? No matter which method you use, you will get 9 times x minus 2 plus 9x equals 12x x minus 2. No matter which way you solve that, okay? No matter which way. So you should get 9x minus 18 plus 9x is equal to 12x squared minus 24x. Combine like terms, so 18x minus 18 is equal to 12x squared minus 24x. Get it set equal to 0. 12x squared, negative 24 minus 18 is negative 42. X plus 18. Let's see, is there a GCF? Well, I can see that I could at least take out a 2. Can I take out something bigger? How about a 6? I see 12 and 18. 42 divided by 6 is 7. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that. What if I could? Nope, can't. Okay, so take out the 6. 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. My people, find two numbers that multiply to be 6, sum to be negative 7. What did I say? Multiply to be 6, sum to be negative 7, so negative 6 and negative 1. Krause's people, you will know that it's just 2 and 1, and then some combination of 3 and 1. My people, you'll just keep going here. Let's see, you take a 2x, and you get x minus 3. You take out a negative 1, you get x minus 3. So your factors should be x minus 3 and 2x minus 1. So we end up, either way, 2x minus 1, x minus 3, with x equals 3, 2x equals 1, x equals 1/2. Are those both okay answers? Check. Look at your denominators. X can't be 0, x can't be 2. Did I get that for either of them? Nope. I got 3 and then 1/2. Both are okay. All right. Annalisa has subscribed to a cable TV service. The cable company charges her a one-time installation fee of $30 and a monthly fee of $50. Write a model that gives the average cost per month as a function of the number of months she has subscribed to the service. After how many months will the average cost be? $56. Okay, so you guys know the average is is divide by how many there are, right? So right now, she paid $30 plus she's paying $50 per month. I'm going to call it M, okay? It says write a model that gives the average cost per month as a function of the number of months she has subscribed to the service. We want the average to be $56. So we want to divide by the number of months she's subscribed. So this is 56 over 1 times, 56 over 1 is equal to 30 plus 50m over m. So you get to cross multiply. So 30 plus 50m is equal to 56m. Solve for m. 30 is equal to 6m. Divide by 6. M is equal to 5. So after 5 months, so let's check our work here. So plug in, oh, I'm picking up my calculator, not using this one. That's silly. Okay. So control divide. 30 plus 50 times 5 over 5. Is that 56? Yeah. That's when she'll pay an average of $56. So after 5 months. All right, number 6. You see this kind of division, and you should think long division. So 3r minus 2 divided into 3r cubed plus 7r squared minus 18r plus 8. There were no missing terms there, so I don't need a placeholder. My goal is to get the first term to cancel. So 3r cubed divided by 3r is r squared. R squared times 3r is 3r cubed. R squared times negative 2 is negative 2r squared. Subtract, minus, plus. Those two cancel. I get 9r squared. Bring down. 3r divided into 9r squared would be positive 3r. Multiply. 3r times 3r is 9r squared. 3r times negative 2 is negative 6r. Subtract. Let's see, negative 12r, bring down the 8. 3r divided into negative 12r is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 3r is negative 12r. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Subtract, so plus, minus. I get a remainder of 0. If there is no remainder, that means that this is a factor, okay? So I should check that. If that's a factor, then that means 3r is equal to 2, r is equal to 2/3 is a root. So if I plug in 2/3 for r, I should get 0. Let's check to see that we did this right. Doc B. I'm going to store 2/3 for r, okay? And I'm going to type it into, where's my function here? Okay, type it into here. So 3r cubed plus 7r squared minus 18r plus 8 is 0. So I know that I did that right. I checked it. Yay. So r squared plus 3r minus 4 is my answer. All right. Find the domain and range of h of x. Well, the domain is x cannot be whatever makes the bottom 0. So x cannot be 2. The range, if you were to look at the graph, or if you would remember that the 1 over x domain and range are x cannot be 0 and y cannot be 0. There is no vertical shift here, so y cannot be equal to 0. If we look at our graph, so if I type that in, you can see that y cannot be 2, or I'm sorry, x cannot be 2, and y cannot be 0. You see the asymptote there? Doesn't cross the x-axis. Number 8, determine the domain and range. So whatever makes the bottom 0, for the domain you say x cannot be that number. And this time for the range, because there is an x in the top, you take the top and the bottom leading coefficients. Y cannot be 4 over 1, which is 4. Okay. Number 9, determine if x plus 4 is a factor of this function. Justify your answer. There are 2 ways to do this. You can use the remainder theorem, or you can actually do long division. If you use the remainder theorem, then you say that x equals negative 4, and you plug that in here. So negative 4 cubed plus 6 times negative 4 squared plus 5 times negative 4 minus 12 equals. You figure out what that is. If it is a factor, then you'll get 0, because that means it's a root. If you don't get 0, if you get a number, then that means if you did the long division, you would have that as a remainder. So I'm actually going to clear this out. I'm going to store negative 4 for, I don't know, I'm going to call it D. Doesn't matter. Let's see here. I got to find what question I'm on here, which is sometimes an issue for me. Okay, so what today is d cubed plus 6d squared plus 5d minus 12. I get 0. So that means x equals negative 4 is a root, which means x plus 4 is a factor. So I get 0. And I can say, yes, by the remainder theorem, f of negative 4 equals 0. So x plus 4 is a factor. Okay. Number 10. The least common denominator here is the product of x and x plus 3. So this first fraction needs to be multiplied by x plus 3, and the second one needs to be multiplied by x over x. So that we have a common denominator of x times x plus 3. So the top of the first one becomes x plus 3, the top of the second one plus x. So I have 2x plus 3 over x times x plus 3. No, you cannot cancel anything out. Some of you try to cancel out the 3's. No. Some of you try to cancel out the x with the 2. No. Don't do that. Leave it alone. It's over. How can you check your answer? If I were you, what I would do at the end of my test is use the storing feature. Pick some absurd number. Like, I feel like 31 is prime and weird. I'd store 31 in my calculator and check all my answers. Okay. What I would do here, Doc B, let's use 31 since I just said it. I'm going to store that for f, and I'm going to type in the original, control divide, 1 over f plus, what is it? 1 over f plus 3. I get that absurd answer. Now, let's see if that matches my equivalent answer. 2f plus 3 over f times f plus 3. Oh, invalid multiplication. What did I do here? Did I forget to put times? There we go. Do they match? Yep, I did it right. Yay. Love it. Clear it out, Doc B. Okay. Number 11. First thing you need to do is do plus a negative. Plus a negative. You don't want to subtract. Sometimes you forget the negative and then you look like you have a hard time. Then you want to factor this denominator. You know the difference of two squares at this point in your life. So your least common denominator for this whole question is the product of x plus 1 and x minus 1. Since that first fraction has both of them, the only thing that this fraction needs is the x minus 1 on the top and on the bottom. So we have a common denominator of x plus 1 and x minus 1. On the top we have 3x plus 1, negative 1, x plus 1. So that becomes 2x plus 2 over x plus 1, x minus 1. Alert, alert, danger. I see something that's very obvious to me, and I hope it's obvious to you. You can take out a 2 on the top, and then you can cancel an x plus 1. So final answer, 2 over x minus 1. Now, again, you can check your answer. I awkwardly stored 31 in my last calculation. So 31, control store f. Type in the original, 3f plus 1, f squared minus 1 minus, control divide, 1 over f plus 1. Okay, so that's the original. Does that match my answer of 2 over f minus 1? Yep, they match. I know I did it right. Okay, Doc B. Solve and graph the solution set. Okay, so first thing you need to do is factor if you can. No, you can't. That is not dots. There is no squared. That is not a minus. Just leave it alone. That is just x plus 16. The two critical values, the number that makes the top 0 is negative 16. The number that makes the bottom 0 is positive 2. This is less than 0. No equal to's, so open circles. Now I need to look at my graph. So in your calculator, you need to go here, control divide, x plus 16, x minus 2, and you can't see the whole graph. We've talked about changing this before. Double click, and you can edit this. I'm going to make it go to negative 20. Okay. That's where 16 is. Can you see it? Just after that, and if I want to zoom a little bit more, I'll make this go to 5. Make this go to -5. You can see that it's going just above the x-axis to the left of -16. So to the left of -16, it's positive. Between -16 and 2, it's negative. And then after 2, it jumps way up here and becomes very positive. So positive, negative, positive. Less than 0 means shade in the negatives. So -16 to 2. It's over. Number 13. If you have a binomial in the denominator with a radical, you need to multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate is the same numbers, just a different sign between them, on the top and on the bottom. In the top, you just want to leave the 7 not distributed until later, possibly. And in the bottom, well, you can do that out by hand. You can also check it in the calculator. So 5 times 5 is 25. The middle terms, if you're using the conjugate, should cancel. So 5 plus rad 3 minus 5 rad 3. Here's the big deal. Positive times negative is always negative, and that'll be 3. These two cancel. So 25 minus 3 is 22. I can't simplify anything, so I'm just going to leave it that way. It's over. You can check that on your denominator on the calculator. Number 14. Again, you multiply by the conjugate. 4 plus 7i over 4 plus 7i. I'm going to leave the 2 factored out. If it was a binomial times a binomial, I would multiply it through, but it's not. So in the bottom, I get 16 plus 28i minus 28i minus 49i squared. We know the middle terms cancel. So I have 16 minus 49i squared. You have to know that I squared is a -1. So that we really have 2 times 4 plus 7i over 16 negative 49 times -1. That's positive 49. So 2 times 4 plus 7i, 16 and 49 is 65. And it's over. You can check this question on the calculator. Go to your calculator. Doc B, I'm just going to clear it out. Type in the original. 2 over 4 minus 7, and get the I from the pi key. That I. Press enter. 8 over 65 plus 14i over 65. Ready? 8 over 65 plus 14i over 65. Do they match? They do. Okay? I would go back, make sure you know the remainder theorem, make sure you are brushed up on your rationalizing, make sure that your factoring skills are on point, and that you can find common denominators when needed. I hope you studied enough. Good luck. We're all counting on you.